Hello, everyone. I'm going to try to mute myself for 1 second, but thank you, everyone, for joining. My name, by the way, is Jeremy Moses. I'm just pulling up my notes very briefly. So welcome, everyone, to our joint event tonight with Tribe NIL and Maccabi USA. We are excited to talk to some incredible athletes that represent both of our organizations currently on the NCAA collegiate level. Just very quickly, since we are a new company, I wanted to tell everyone just very quickly who we are and what we do and some of the programs that we have coming up. So first thing, my name is Jeremy Moses, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tribe NIL. Though we only publicly launched in July, we actually already have 200 current Jewish NCAA athletes together in a group chat. 50 of whom actually get a monthly stipend to represent Tribe NIL. So what we do is we provide financial support, access to brand deals, programs like these. We have an upcoming mentorship program coming up. And also, just most importantly, we provide a community just for Jewish athletes that tend to not be around as many Jews as the typical Jewish college student. So for example, in the new year, we're going to be actually launching a national campaign with One Table in Manischewitz, where we're actually going to be sending a gift basket Shabbat kits to all of our athletes so they can all host Shabbat dinners for their friends and, most importantly, their teammates. Just wanted to very quickly tell you about a few programs that we have coming up. Next Thursday, which is at 8 p.m. on November 13th, also on Zoom, we have an event with former Maccabi USA athlete Dan Grunfeld, who is the son of former Knicks general manager, Olympic gold medalist, I believe a Maccabian himself, Ernie Grunfeld. Dan is the author of the book By the Grace of the Game, The Holocaust, A Basketball Legacy, and an Unprecedented American Dream. So that will be next Thursday. Two events that are not exactly in the calendar yet, but we have them coming up, and I just wanted to let people know that they're going to be coming up. We are going to be having an event with former Dolphins and Jets GM and current ESPN NFL analyst Mike Tannenbaum. That will be an AMA, or what we call an Ask Me Anything, with our Tribe athletes. And that will actually be an event only for our Tribe insiders. Those are our paying members. Finally, we also put together a lot of leadership trainings sessions for a lot of our athletes. And we're going to be putting on a panel of leaders in different areas of the financial sector to give advice and answers to questions our athletes have about getting into the industry. It's a predominant industry that a lot of our athletes want to be working in after they graduate. And so we're going to be putting on a panel of 6 leaders in the financial sector to give advice on how to break in and how to network, et cetera, et cetera. So that is actually just for our athletes, though we also invite our Tribe insiders to join us and watch that. So if you want to learn more about becoming a Tribe insider, please check our website. But I just want to very quickly bring on Neil Slotkin from Maccabi USA, and then I will bring on our first athlete.
Hi, Jeremy. Thanks very much. I just want to say, everyone at Maccabi USA, and especially our new president, Don Kent, who I believe is on the call, and certainly everyone at Maccabi Media, really, excited about this new partnership that we're starting with you, and looking forward to creating a lot of great content over the next couple of years. Along those lines, I want to just invite everybody. We're having our own guest speaker series. We do these kind of regularly throughout the year, especially when we assemble our new student team that's going to be covering the games next summer. We have an event on November 18th, so just under 2 weeks away. It'll be 8 o'clock, and I know Jeremy will be sending out an invitation link for that as well. We bring on guest speakers, and the kind of a little bit of a career development networking focus will be our next one with Neil Solondz, who is the play-by-play voice of the Tampa Rays baseball, and also Amelia Schimmel, who is the public address announcer for the Oakland, now Sacramento A's, and San Jose Sharks minor league team, and the Bay FC soccer team out in the Bay Area. So you're all welcome to join that. And the other thing that Jeremy, I know, is going to send out is a link to, when we put our team together, our student team together, they will be writing articles and doing video stories on a lot of the athletes, hopefully including our 4 panelists tonight. So we encourage you to pitch us ideas for other stories We give assignments for the students, and we want to really build up the momentum before we go, but also give them a chance to kind of, our media students work on their skills, writing, video, production, and stuff. So look for those two links: the invitation to join our meeting on the 18th, about 2 weeks away, and also the link to pitch us story ideas that you'd like to see us do to really highlight our amazing delegation and the crossover athletes that we have. We have more than a dozen between Tribe NIL and us. So thanks, Jeremy, and looking forward to tonight.
Well, appreciate it, Neil. We're going to bring on our first athlete. So if Paloma Zeifer could turn on her camera. Paloma is a sophomore at Oberlin College, where she plays at for the field hockey team, but she's originally from West Orange, New Jersey, and is going to be playing next year for Maccabi USA field hockey. Paloma, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you coming on this call and doing this for us. How I know the season just ended. You're a sophomore, your freshman year. I was looking back at your team record. It was not great last year, but you guys have improved.
Yeah. So, crazy enough, this year we started off really well. We had our first the start of our season was probably the best start we've had in 15 years. And I know to many people that might sound like oof, but for us at Oberlin, knowing that we're a growing program and that us as my team especially knows that since we are building the groundwork for what could be an amazing team in the future. So
that's amazing. And so, I mean, I want to get to Oberlin in a minute because there's some really cool stuff that you're doing on campus. But tell us about, before you got to Oberlin, before you even did Maccabi, how did you get into field hockey at first? Were you always into field hockey, or was it other sports first?
So funny enough, I didn't play really any sports as a child. My sisters played field hockey. I have two older sisters, and they had been playing for a long time, but I really did not want to play. I didn't think I was meant for an athlete lifestyle. But then funny enough, I went to boarding school in high school, and I thought, well, maybe I should give it a try and just meet new people. And little did I know that I'd be doing this 6 years later. And I've absolutely become obsessed with it. So even though field hockey is sort of a newer thing for me than most athletes can say, it's really been now a big part of my life.
And so what was that decision? I've maybe even asked you this when we first talked. I ask it facetiously, but I mean it seriously. When did you first realize that you were good? When did, when you're on teams and not everyone that you played with growing up with moved on to NCAA level. So did you realize, hey, I could do this seriously. I could move up to college level.
So honestly, my high school field hockey team was very good. So I was not a superstar at all on my high school team, but I honestly people who know me, I just my work ethic is just sort of I'm someone who just if once I start something, I can't stop. So I don't really think there's ever been a moment where I'm wow, I'm really good. I think it's more of just I kept pushing myself, and I kept being okay, I've achieved one goal. What's next? And I think once I realized there is an opportunity for me to go next level, I knew I could never go Division I just because of how I started. But one of my teammates in high school was I think anyone can go play field hockey in college, no matter when you start. So that I think is sort of when I was okay, I guess I could try this.
Amazing. And then in between those two things is what I assume between when you started and when you went to Oberlin is how you got involved in Maccabi. So did you do JCC Maccabi stuff, or was it always with the national team?
So I actually found Maccabi on my own. So my parents had talked about the Maccabi games as I guess they knew people whose kids who had done them, but my dad really did not think there was a field hockey team. So I kind of was let me prove him wrong. Let me look and see if there's a field hockey team. So I never did any JCC stuff or anything like that because there's not much field hockey really, I think, anywhere except the East Coast in the United States. So I found the national team, and I was like, well, I want to go. I want to see if I can do it. So yeah, that's pretty
And
much.
what have you competed? Like, where have you competed so far? Because I know that this is not the first time that you're going to play.
No, so I actually went to London for the youth games. I think it was the summer before my senior year of high school, or maybe it was the summer before my freshman year of college. I don't remember, but that was when I got. I played in the London youth games, and that's like when I was like, man, I got to keep doing this. This is fun.
I mean, and so that's actually how you met me. The way we met and the way you got involved in Tribe NIL is I actually met one of your teammates, Maya. And so it's not even about how you met Maya specifically, but what was it like? Obviously you became friends with those teammates. So what does that meant for you? Just to make new friends, but what was it like to play with a bunch of other Jewish athletes?
Well, first off, I didn't really realize there was that many Jews in field hockey. Like every girl I played field hockey with in high school had the most like Italian last name you've ever heard of. So I was like, there's no way there's Jews in field hockey. But so I met my teammates and I was like, well, our team was small, but I was like, wow, like there are other girls just like me who actually live very close to me, which I found out and they all play field hockey and they all love the game. And for me, I think it sort of helps me like reconnect with my own Jewish like heritage and like Jewish identity. Because I was like, wow, like field hockey now is a big part of my life, and like Judaism has always been a part of my life. And I didn't realize like these two could cross over. And I'm like so grateful that I found Maccabi, because I was like, wow, like this is the perfect connection that I need. I think you're on mute.
I am on mute. There's all these doorbells coming in. So my question to you is, what is it about your experiences in Maccabi that I want you to be able to talk about the Jewish student athlete group that you have at Oberlin. Like, first off, I don't think a lot of people realize that there's schools all over the country that have not just Jewish student athletes, but Jewish student athlete groups on campus. And you're on the board of the Jewish student athlete group at Oberlin. So what's the history of that group? I don't even know that. I know that a few of you guys are involved in Tribe, but I would love to hear like how that got started, but also like was that inspired by Maccabi at all?
So it was. So I actually was. There are these two other girls who are much older. Well, they're both seniors now. Who had been really wanting to start this group, and honestly, they had a lot of pushback, and we had a lot of pushback for about 2 years, they said, for starting our JSAG, our Jewish Student Athlete Group. And once I like heard about it, I was like, well, I got to be a part of this. Like when I went to Maccabi, I realized like I need to, like, with everything going on in the world, I need to make my like statement. And I feel like a lot of Jews that I know now who are athletes, like, they don't really say that they're Jewish. They don't make that kind of statement. But like after going to Maccabi, I was sort of just like, I want to wear my star around my neck when I play. Like, I want to make it known that I'm a Jewish athlete and I'm here to stay. So with our Jewish student athlete group, we had a lot of pushback, but we are now like an official group with official funding. And something that like we are really big in what we promote with this group is that everyone is welcome. We're not trying to like preach whatever everyone else thinks Jews preach. Like, we are just a group of Jewish athletes who just want to come together and just talk and like just enjoy each other's company. And I think we still hold that like every day and every time we meet. Like we had an event with our Chabad a couple weeks ago, and we just all sat around the table and like talked about all of our favorite things about fall and like the high holidays. And like that is something that like it doesn't have to get political at the dinner table anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's what I like about sports in general is like, and I've been preaching this is like, we all can argue about lots of things all the time, both outside of the Jewish community and within the Jewish community. But I think what we all love is like, we can all take a 2-hour break and be like, isn't it cool that we can go root for you we can let Oberlin and alum know that you're out there representing them. And wait, so how many Jewish athletes do you think there are at Oberlin?
Hmm. Okay, we have a good population now, but okay, we have like 15 members currently, including the board, but we think there's more. We're trying to like find them. We're trying to weed it out. We've been going on to each teams, and just being like, hey, like we're a club, like welcome, you're all welcome, come join. So we're trying to see if we can get some new freshmen to come in and hang out with us, and yeah. So we're a growing population because we think Oberlin is very Jewish, so we think that there's more of them hiding somewhere.
I bet you are correct. So I guess my last question is like, what are you looking forward to next summer?
Oh, well, first off, to be in Israel. I haven't been to Israel since I was about 7, so like I'm so excited to be back there. And honestly, I'm so excited to play with this team. We had sort of like a brief meeting last summer, but like I'm so excited to play with this team. We have a lot of talent, and I see that. But also, I'm excited to see these other teams and meet all these people. Like I know there are like definitely more people like that I know that are coming back from the youth games. And actually, I found out earlier this week that someone I know on the men's soccer team at Oberlin is actually planning to come play at one of the men's soccer teams at the game. So I'm like so excited to just be with people and just like make those new connections.
Awesome. Well, Paloma, it has been awesome. So let me where can people find you? Where can they maybe when you get off, go into the chat and put your Instagram so people can find you.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Paloma, thank you again. Next, I'm going to call on, we're going to do a little bit of an audible because one of our athletes is running a little late. So Danit, if you can jump on. Hello.
Is it working?
Now I hear you.
Okay.
Neat.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How's your well, also spoiler alert, you just had surgery. How's
Yes.
how's the recovery?
It's going pretty well. I'm on day 5, doing some rehab. I'm bending my knee, which is really good. Basically, I tore off like a chunk of my patella cartilage, like in the back.
Happens
It was
to
like built up. Yeah.
it happens to all of us.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was gonna be worse, so thankfully it wasn't like the worst thing ever, but I just got surgery on Friday. My crutches are somewhere over there, and I have this like huge brace on, and I mean, luckily the scars aren't that big, so it's okay. It could be worse.
Are you
I mean,
able to travel with the team?
no, they're leaving for FIU tomorrow morning at like 4 a.m. Went with them to New Mexico last week. I'm still out. I've been out for like less than a month now, I'd say. I went to New Mexico, and like with all the like shutdowns and everything, we were supposed to get home at like 2:30 p.m. and we ended up getting home at like 2 a.m. So that was great because then we went from like New Mexico to Dallas to Oklahoma to Dallas. It was just
So I was gonna say, I didn't even introduce who you really are, right? That's what we got right into it, right? So just so people know, you are Danit Cohn. You are a junior at Middle Tennessee State, where you play on the volleyball team, and you are originally from Los Angeles, California, and you play for the Maccabi USA volleyball team. So first, the last time we actually had like a longer conversation, you had just gotten to campus this year. You were at Binghamton last year, and you transferred here. And I was asking you, what is that transition like? Because you were you grew up in Los Angeles, then you lived in Binghamton, which has a very large Jewish population. Now you are at Middle Tennessee State. What has that transition been like?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was always surrounded by a bunch of Jewish people. I went to school growing up. I mean, for high school, I went to a Catholic school, but I found a bunch of Jewish people and still like connected with the people I grew up with. But like always, I feel like LA also, you go through like Encino, Tarzana. Jew Central over
Wait, to
there.
me, you keep, but you're a little like you're a little spotty. Is it? Do you want to try to take out your headphones? Maybe that will like make
Yeah.
it faster. We'll see if that works. I think that might actually be better. Yes. So tell us again what you were just saying. Sorry.
Okay. Growing up in LA, I feel like there's like Jewish, like Jews everywhere, like especially in Tarzana and Encino, that's just like a Jew central hub. So I've always like been around the Jewish culture, and my dad is from Israel, from Ashkelon. So I've just grown up around Judaism, and I've always like loved it. And then when I was looking for a school to play at, I kind of knew Binghamton had a big Jewish population when they like contacted me and everything. So that was like a very good pro. It was just really cold over there, and like really cold.
I
And
do remember you telling me that. Yes, it is very cold in Binghamton, New York. You are
it
correct.
was like you were getting attacked by the ice and the snow, and I think 2 years I was just tapped out after the 2 years, because I think I had to go somewhere similar to California or just closer to home. So I decided to enter the transfer portal, and it wasn't as close as I thought I would be to California, but Tennessee, I'm close enough to Nashville, so it's okay. But the Jewish population here isn't the best. But actually, I think they're trying to like revive the Hillel program here. And I just got like an email notification about it, so I think I'm gonna check that out, because I've been trying to look and I haven't found anything. And
No,
like no one on my team is really Jewish, so it's been kind of like a struggle. But
have you heard a word of Hebrew on campus? Have you ever walked by me like, is that guy speaking Hebrew? Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard a single thing, but usually like as an athlete, like through my years of college, like I really only know like certain sides of campus. Like there's just one side that I stick to, because it's like that's where all the facilities and like my classes, like I kind of just know where some stuff are. But then like everything else, like I see new buildings every day, because I'm just like, oh, I know that existed.
And what has that experience been? It's not just maybe even at Binghamton, you might have been the only Jewish person on the team. But what has it been like being the Jewish athlete at Middle Tennessee State this year? Like, has there been a lot of questions? Have you become what's some extra responsibilities that you didn't think that you would have to explain to people? It could be funny too. It doesn't need to be serious.
Yeah. No, at Binghamton, I actually was the only Jewish person on my team. So, a lot of my teammates like didn't know many Jews growing up. The ones from New York did, because obviously. But one of my roommates, luckily, she's on softball. She is also Jewish, and I kind of got to connect with her, and it was just really nice, like having someone. And then I think my sophomore year, there was a guy from Israel that I became friends with. So I had some Jewish people to connect with, but it was funny. I would always like teach them like just some Jewish traditions and kind of like educate them a little bit, and we'd kind of just joke around and stuff. So here it's definitely like a lot of people don't know much about Judaism, because it's not really, they're very like Christian over here. Like it kind of just like says Jesus everywhere, like even at like Dollar Tree, like you'll see like it's just like all Jesus. So that was a culture shock for me. But yeah, I kind of just like for I think during season when we had all the Jewish holidays, because we don't get off of school for the Jewish holidays here, but at Binghamton we did. But I would just joke around and be like, oh, I miss like when we had the days off, and be like, you're welcome, guys, and all this stuff, and kind of just like tell them about it.
And I realized I'm going to make us bigger so people can see us on a larger screen. Look at that. So my next question was going to be, do you like what made you get involved in Maccabi as well? Like, first off, I don't think of volleyball as Jews are a lot of things. We don't tend to be the tallest. That doesn't mean that we're not. There's plenty of tall Jews. So volleyball is a sport where, you know, you tend to have a lot of taller people in it. So, you know, did you play with a lot of Jews growing up? I mean, were you always, and then like, how did you get involved in Maccabi?
Yeah. Honestly, like I'm not that tall. I mean, in like the regular world, I'm like 5'8", so it's like average, like a little above average, I guess. But like in volleyball, I think I'm like the fourth shortest on my team right now. But like like throughout my life, on all my teams, I was always like one of the shortest ones. So, and my position is a setter, and usually you need to be like 5'10", around there for that. So it was kind of hard getting recruited because I am on the shorter side, and a lot of like people told me I couldn't do it. And I also didn't really know many Jewish girls like through my club teams and stuff. But in middle school, I knew some girls because obviously I went to a Jewish school. But I got into Maccabi through, I think, my mom. And I was on LA West Side, and my mom was, I think my sister did it first. Yeah, that's what it was. My sister did it first, and she loved it. And then I was like, oh, I want to try. And then I was lucky enough to play with her when I was in 8th grade, I think. Did JCC in San Diego. And then I did it again in Atlanta. I don't remember the year, but that one was really fun. It was really nice.
And have you been to Israel in general?
Yeah, I mean, me and my family try to go every year. I don't really know how many times I've been. I was supposed to go this summer, but obviously, like with the war and everything, I was supposed to participate this summer. But usually I go every year. I went the year before that because my sister used to go to Reichman University, and also I have a bunch of family there, and I love Israel. I love going every year.
Well, let me ask you that then. Like, let's say there's some, like, name 3 places that you want to take teammates that have never been before to Israel. If you could take them, where would you take them?
Oh, okay.
Put you on the spot.
Definitely Jerusalem. Like I don't know, whenever I step in Jerusalem, it's just like you could just feel it. It's not just like the visual part of it. There's just like this certain feeling you get. Like I think even if you're religious or not religious, just like seeing the biblical aspects that kind of everyone knows comes to life is really nice. I mean, Tel Aviv, it's kind of basic, but I mean, it's great out there. Just not enjoying like jellyfish season, but I mean, it's really nice. And then the third place, probably up north. Like up north is really pretty. There's this place I forgot. I don't remember. Somewhere in the Banyas, I think. Somewhere. I don't really know. But I remember.
I put you on the spot. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, but just so everyone knows, when we're done speaking with our athletes, we're gonna do a quick Q&A at the end. So Danit and Paloma will jump back on at the end if anyone has any questions. So Danit, thank you for now, but we will see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
And then Ethan I just heard back from Ethan. His practice went late, but he is on his way. Ben, I know that you jumped in here. I'm about to make you a host so I can bring you on a couple minutes early. So I'm going to bring Ben Stolzberg on. You're now able to turn on your microphone and camera, Ben. What's happening, Ben? I'm going to
Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm going to unpin Danit somehow. I don't know how to do that, so let's figure this out very quick. I'm going to unpin, and then I'm going to pin you. There we go. Brilliance. Live for everyone. So Ben also is a junior, also from the LA area, from Northridge, California. Junior, plays on the men's open basketball team for Maccabi USA. And just transferred to Murray State, where he is playing on the basketball team. So Ben, welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. Happy to be here.
And Ben also is not only is a member of Tribe NIL, his sister Maya is also in Tribe NIL. She is a diver at UCLA. So Ben, very similar to Danit, like you are at a school not actually there very far from Denise. You guys can probably fly home together. Like, what is it? You were at UCSB last year, where there's Jews aplenty. In fact, your head coach was Jewish last year.
Yeah.
What has that been like? And I want to hear a lot, because last time you texted me, you said you guys are sick. So I want to hear about expectations for the season. But tell me, how's it been, just like personal life in Murray, Kentucky so far?
Yeah, well, I mean, coming from the LA area, you're obviously used to the big city, having a lot to do. And Murray, if I don't even know if anybody on this call has heard of it, but it's not that. Like when I drive to practice, there's like Amish people on the side.
Wow.
Like that's how different it is. So yeah, it's definitely, I wouldn't say culture shock. I don't feel shocked. I kind of expected it. But yeah, I think I'm like one of like 3 Jews here. I just found out there was a Jewish girl on the tennis team, and then there is like some media member that we have that's Jewish. So I originally thought I was the only one, but I guess I'm one of 3. So, I've been talking to the media guy that we have, and we've been trying to find ways to, do some holidays together or something, just so, we know we have somebody here.
I actually think this is a larger thing, and I think schools like Murray State, if they like, which has an incredible basketball program, John Morant's not in the news for the best news these days, but a great alum of the guard program that you are now part of, in Murray State, first thing I was just going to ask was, first off, I know that it's a brand new team. A lot of the guys transferred. So like, what has it been like so far?
Yeah. So, I was at Creighton my first year, and the assistant who recruited me there and that I was really close to got the head coach job. And in the modern, NIL transfer portal world, they recruited 15 guys, a new team, new staff. We had to put in a whole system from day one and build some sort of chemistry. And it was very difficult. I think now looking back, like all those things we did were worth it, but we grinded like no tomorrow. Like we would work out so much. We were doing like team bonding activities almost like every other day. We were together all day. Like it almost felt like, we talk about it, it almost felt like a 4-month like summer camp, like boot camp for like 4 months. But the reason was because we have so many new players, and we're putting together a pretty deep system with a lot of different dynamics to it, and it takes time. So and I think
there's a trust too, right? Like you need to spend all that time with you guys. Forget the on the court, it's that off the court stuff that makes all the stuff gel, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say like the biggest step we took was after we had a foreign tour in the Bahamas, and it wasn't even the basketball, but like we just got so much closer as people, and I would say it translated to the court, and we started playing like our growth got, we started growing as a team on the court quicker after that. So for sure.
I mean, next time I will go to the Bahamas as well if you're interested. So that sounds, I would also bond in the Bahamas. So that's a smart thing. But tell me, you were actually one of the very first athletes that I spoke with you, if you remember. And I remember you being Jewish is very important to you, which is why I think it's really amazing that like people like you and Denise are at these schools where there's very few Jews, if any.
Yeah.
So did that factor in? Obviously,
no.
You chose Murray State because basketball, so you don't turn that opportunity down. But what were some of the struggles that you thought of, like what were you concerned about, and how have you dealt with it so far? And it sounds like you guys are already making some progress with leading into the Jewish stuff.
Yeah. So I would say this, like growing up, I was never really super integrated into the Jewish community in LA. I was so busy with basketball. Like my whole family obviously is in the Jewish community very much, But me and Maya were very much focused on our sports. Now we were very proud Jews, and we called it like conservative Jews, where weren't so observant, but we did everything in house. Um, so it's again, it's a huge part of who I am, but not being around other Jewish people wasn't huge for me because I developed my Jewish identity kind of by myself and my family, and through the knowledge I've gained on my own studies, if that makes sense. So coming here to a place where there's virtually no Jews, it wasn't anything super different. Obviously, it is different, but again, it just my journey of learning more about myself and where I come from is something I've always kind of done with me and my family, and I just continue to do that.
And so tell me about that journey for yourself, because I think that's partially also why you're going to play next summer. And are both your parents Israeli or just your dad?
No, both. My mom's family is more Israeli than my dad. My mom is from Beersheba. Most of my mom's family is still in Israel. My dad was born in Tel Aviv. Most of my dad's family is kind of scattered, but they ended up moving to Canada. But yeah, I have roots that are still there. Most of my family is still there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that, and I really remember you talking about, this doesn't always need to be the focus, but I do remember how October 7th affected you, and like, what was that moment for you like in a post October 7th world? Like, what does it mean to be Jewish to you? Because I know that Israel is very important to you and your family, essential part of your identity. So what is that?
Yeah.
Also, just as an athlete too.
Yeah. Well, obviously, so October 7th happened kind of at a interesting point in my life where I got hurt. I had shoulder surgery. So not only did it was obviously such a huge event for Jews and for Israel, I had a lot of time on my hands. And my parents are very educated, so I kind of just got with them, and I was like, I really want to just know more about, what it is, what parts of it I like, what parts of it I don't like, and also, just the history behind not only this conflict currently going on, but just the history in totality of what's happening. And I kind of just it kind of became kind of a hobby. Like instead of like looking at social media, I would just kind of like do research and try to learn, watch a YouTube video. And I enjoyed it because when people would say certain things that were not correct, I could confront them. Not confront them, but correct them in a nice manner. But and I continue to just keep learning and developing. There's a lot to it, obviously.
And so I want to talk about the team, because I got to know some of those guys. I know a few of them. The very first athletes that we signed at Tribe were because I got in touch with your coach,
Yeah.
Dorf, who associate head coach at Air Force and is Maccabi USA head coach. So I know a couple of you guys, but I know you guys are also like pretty close too. So there's supposed to be a training camp at Montclair State this year that got canceled. What was kind of the disappointment of this past summer, but also what are you looking forward to next summer?
Yeah, obviously everything got canceled, but coach has done a really good job of finding ways to keep us developing that off the court camaraderie that we talked about with my Murray State team virtually. We have Zooms. We're having a lot of Zooms when we thought the games were coming up, but we're still trying to have Zooms so we can keep up with each other. We're doing an activity right now where we explain our purpose, our why, and some deeper things about us. And then as this year goes on, hopefully we're gonna get together and get a training camp going and represent the U.S. well. So I'm excited.
And I don't think the general public, maybe this call does know, and I think fans of Maccabi and Maccabi USA know this, but I don't think the general public realizes how it's not just you guys, it's not just your team, but every team, like how many D1, D2, D3 current athletes are on these teams that are competing for for Maccabi USA, that I think it would blow people's minds about how good all of you guys all are at your sport.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't even know, to be honest.
Yeah.
It surprised me.
Yeah, so I just saw some highlights of LeJay Jones at Florida State.
Mhm.
18 points in his debut, or 14 points in his
Yeah.
debut. So it's very exciting stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if he's playing,
Oh,
to be honest with you, but
we'll find out.
I found out he was Jewish. I actually saw that he played well the other day too. So
Yeah, LeJay Jones, Florida State has an Israeli mother. That's
yeah, that's what I
I believe his dad played professionally in Israel. That's how they.
That's how they met.
Yeah.
Mm.
The Denny Avdia story as well. I believe he's the same thing.
Yeah, similar.
Well, Ben, I appreciate you coming on. Hold on for another 10 minutes and we're going to bring you on, but I'm going to bring on Ethan at this point, who has been able to make it. So thank you, Ben. I'm going to unpin you. Then I'm going to bring on unpin, and then Ethan, I'm going to make you a co-host right now. Ethan, you can turn on your camera now.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I apologize for being late. We had a film session after practice that I didn't know we were going to have.
That is the life of an athlete, I think. Your coach doesn't care.
Yeah.
Well, Ethan, first, I want to talk about this season because you guys are having an incredible season, but you actually have like a family history with Maccabi, so and a very athletic family. So for people who don't know, tell us who your grandfather was.
Oh, yeah. So my grandfather was a two-time USA Olympian. He competed in, I believe, the 1952 Olympics. And I can't remember the other one. I know one was in Helsinki and the other one was in Melbourne. He competed in the Maccabi games too. So he won gold in the Maccabi games. So he was a fencer. And he also won gold in the Pan American games. His name is Byron Krieger. And yeah, so it's, a big honor for me, obviously, being able to go to the Maccabi games in Israel and honor his legacy.
So, Ethan, I also forgot to introduce you. So this is Ethan Wertschafter from Boca Raton, Florida, junior at WashU. I believe you're also a graduate of Jewish Day School. You went to a Jewish high school, right?
Yes, correct. So I went to Donna Klein Jewish Academy for high school, and then for lower school, I went to the Katz Hillel Day School.
Amazing. And this season at WashU has been pretty successful in soccer. You guys were ranked as high as 2 in the country, I believe.
Yes, correct.
So tell us, and you've had your own personal success this season. So tell me about the season so far, because I know it's been better than you were an athlete of the week for Tribe NIL. You're scoring left and right. So tell us everything.
Yeah, so I mean, this year's been going great, thank God. So last weekend we reached number 2 in the country ranked, which is the highest in our program's history. So that was obviously a really big accomplishment for the team. We've had a really good freshman class come in this year. A lot of kids really stepping up and playing a really important role in our team. This weekend we actually have our conference final against U Chicago. They're ranked number 3 in the country right now, so it's definitely going to be a very competitive game, and if we win the entire UAA. So, very exciting opportunity, obviously, to win a trophy this weekend, and that game is this Saturday. But yeah, I mean, I've been having an awesome year with the team. Myself, I played in 14 games so far. I scored 13 goals and have 1 assist. So hopefully, can get some more goals this weekend.
Where are you in?
Yeah.
You were in the top 20 for a while. You were in the top 10 for a while in the nation.
Yes, I don't know where I'm at right now. I know there was one point where I was tied for like number 2, but I probably dropped down a lot. There are a lot of players that play in non-amazing conferences, so they can score a million goals every single game. But yeah, now that we're in conference, it's much more difficult to score, obviously.
That makes sense. And so so that game is this Saturday, and they
correct.
And
it's at home.
And what's really interesting about UAA in general, is it's Division III, which tends to be more regional in terms of who your competitors are. But UAA is very different in the sense that it's like all just these great academic. There's more Jews in the UAA than any conference by far. It's
100%.
Like, can you list some of the schools that you play, just so you know?
So our conference is Brandeis, University of Chicago, NYU, Rochester, Emory, ourselves, and then
Carnegie
Mellon. Yeah. So obviously, big Jewish population at all those schools.
Have you met a lot of Jewish athletes like playing soccer, both like in South Florida and also just in playing NCAA?
I mean, not too many, to be honest. I've heard of some, but I don't interact with the other teams maybe too much. But at least on my team, I know that we do have, I think six or seven guys on the team that are Jewish. So
I mean, that blows my mind every time. I
crazy.
just don't think people realize how many Jewish athletes there are at all of these schools. Part of what I think, by the way, not to do a shameless plug, but that's kind of why Tribe NIL exists, is because until a few years ago, college athletes were not allowed to promote themselves like this. And it just gives you an opportunity that did not exist even 5 years ago, to tell your story and to tell your family story, but also tell your team's story, both as a Jew, but also just as an athlete. Like your accomplishments and everyone and all four of your accomplishments are impressive regardless of whether or not you're Jewish, right? Like these are all very impressive accomplishments. So tell me, and I know that you have some aspirations to potentially play professionally, maybe in Israel, maybe here in the States. So how does Maccabi fit into all of that, and how did you get involved in Maccabi soccer?
Yeah, so that is obviously my number one goal after college, is to try and play professionally. And I thought that the Maccabi USA team would be, a great opportunity to take advantage of, considering that I would really like to play professional in Israel. And I think that would give me, some great exposure to some teams over there. I'll actually be studying in Israel abroad this upcoming spring. So I'll be there for a very long time, and hopefully leading into the summer tournament. But yeah, I think that, there's a really great opportunity for me to, be in the country, immerse myself in the culture, and hopefully get some exposure to some professional teams there.
Where are you junior year abroad?
So I'm going to Reichman University in Herzliya. And then hopefully I'll be playing or at least practicing with some professional team in Tel Aviv, hopefully.
That's very cool. Why specifically Reichman? Like, what do you study? What non-soccer things do we need to know about Ethan?
So I'm a finance major. Reichman is a big international business school. Lots of American students there. The classes are in English, so I really thought that that'd be the best fit for me. And I also have family who are cousins that go to Bar Ilan, so that's a pretty close drive. So I thought that that considering all those factors, I thought it was the best school for me.
I wanted to talk just quickly about WashU, because you're the opposite of what Ben and Danit have. You're more similar to Paloma, who's at Oberlin. There's Jews everywhere, and there's a lot of Jewish athletes. So what's, besides just your teammates, what has been Jewish life like at WashU, specifically with meeting other athletes? There's a lot on the basketball team. There's 2 guys on the football team. I'm sure you know all of them.
100%. Yeah, no, I mean, we're all very close. It's a really tight community. And it's a small campus here too. So I think you see the other Jewish athletes here around a lot. Every single weekend, Chabad gets a big Friday night dinner, and then most people go to Hillel on Saturday for lunch. So I think that that's always just great times for me to interact with a lot of these other Jewish athletes that maybe I don't see during the week because they are doing different majors or different classes. But every single weekend, when it comes to Shabbat specifically, or the high holidays, those are really great times for us to all just connect together. And yeah, like I said, it's a really tight community, and we're all close friends.
Amazing. So I'm going to have you stay right where you are, Ethan. So if anyone has any questions, here's the time. I'm going to turn on the cameras. I'm going to pin Danit, Ben, and Paloma, but you guys can turn on your cameras again. And then if anyone has questions, the best way to do it is to type it into the message, into the chat. It will probably be the best. So if anyone has any questions, now is the time. I guess I can only make a few of us large, so it will just be the 2 of you large for now. So does anyone have any questions? Anyone want to type something in? I will ask another question. If not, I will wait 10 more seconds. Have you guys ever met each other? Have any of the 4 of you ever met each other? what is like, has that been a thing? Like, I'm actually genuinely curious about, I haven't really asked about Tribe NIL but like, one thing that we want to do more is, bring, you guys together more and meet people in person. And, right now we're doing these virtual things because you're all just all over the country. But part of the goal that we want to do is have you guys meet each other and, put on trips and do more things like that. So, one other thing that I was also just going to say is like, you also have the opportunity that one thing I think a lot of people don't realize is you guys, not only are you, yes, at your own schools, like, yeah, Dunedin is in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where there's no Jews, and Ben's in Murray, Kentucky, where there's no Jews. You guys have road games, right? And, you have like you go to towns where there are Jewish people. So that's part of the reason that we promote, everyone's games out there or like on our Instagram is because we want to make sure that like people know that you guys exist. So, you can do meet and greets. And if you're playing if this finals of the UAA is this weekend, I assume there's some Jewish guys on the University of Chicago team as well. So like if you are in the St. Louis area, like here's a great way to go and support Jewish athletes is what I would say. Neil Slotkin has a question. So I'll let whichever one of you want to take the floor first. What are you guys looking forward to most this upcoming summer in Israel? So if anyone wants to start. Ethan, I'm going to jump on you because you're not muted.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that. I'm just really excited for the tournament and to play against other countries. It's always fun to play and compete for a trophy. And so I think, it's exciting to see how I match up against players from Brazil or Argentina or somewhere else.
That's very cool. Danita, I already put you on the spot for that one too hard. Paloma, I will ask you, what are you looking forward to next summer the most?
Honestly, I think to be just like, I'm playing with one of my best friends again, Maya, who's also a Tribe NIL athlete. So I'm just honestly so excited to play with her again. And honestly, just to be back in Israel.
And maybe I'll ask this to Ben, have your teammates like asked about Maccabi? Like what do they know about it when they say like, oh, you're playing for like Team USA or Maccabi USA? Like how did you get on that team? Like what's their curiosity about it?
I mean, I wouldn't say there's too much curiosity other than just like general questions about like just what it is. I mean, and even when I explained it to them, I don't think they fully like understand what it is, to be honest.
That makes sense. Well, I'm not. I think I'm going to wrap this up. Neil, if you wanted to jump on, if you have any last things you wanted to say, but otherwise, I wanted to thank Paloma, Ben, Ethan, and Denise for taking the time. Literally, you guys are. You all work out. You have full-time jobs as students and full-time jobs as athletes. So I appreciate all this time in your busy schedules. So thank you, Neil.
Thanks, Jeremy. No, it was a really great session. And again, looking forward to following you guys. And I'm sure a lot of our students will be in touch. I think Ethan was actually already profiled by one of our Syracuse students leading up to the games before. But don't be surprised for Denise or Paloma or Ben that, somebody will reach out. Want to kind of explore a little bit more about you and your background in a video story or a written article before we go, or even there. And again, really encourage anybody who's here watching or will watch to pitch us ideas because, what you guys do is amazing. We want to highlight our delegation members, certainly you, and give, good opportunity for our students to kind of brush up on their journalism and media skills as well. So it's kind of a really good twofold aspect. So thanks again. This is great, and look forward to the next one when we do this again with more athletes.
And I'll give one last plug to a friend of ours, the Shalom Sluggers podcast. Ben's latest, Ben and his sister Maya their episode came out this week on the Shalom Sluggers podcast. So if you want to hear Ben and his sister talk about their background, you can go listen to that. Yeah, that's all I got. I appreciate everyone for coming on. I will wish everyone good night. Erev Tov.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.